Hi, it's Beatbox Jake. I wanted to talk about the song Vybin and how it came to be. Um, it's sort of a relaxed song. It's got a bit of a jam to it because it's got that kind of a groove throughout the whole thing. But I wanted to talk about how I wrote it and why. It's a little bit less interesting in some ways because a lot of my songs, while I do want them to remain lyricless and up to your own interpretation, so you can apply whatever meaning to the song you want, I do have meanings behind some of them for myself, and this is one that doesn't necessarily have one. A lot of people seem to like the song, but the way it was written was much more explorative, I guess, rather than I have this thing to talk about. At the time, I had been learning about this thing in music theory called modes. And in fact, the entire Dichotomy album was written based off of me exploring modes and developing my own opinion of them and seeing what I liked doing with them. Dorian, which is one level brighter than the natural minor scale, I was having a hard time attaching a feeling to Dorian as a mode. It just kind of sounded like nothing to me. So I was really harping on it and spending a lot of time playing with it in order to get used to it and try and come up with some sort of feeling to attach to it. Like, how would I utilize this mode? Turns out, as of recording this today, it's one of my favorites, kind of one of my go-tos, because I do love the feeling of minor, but I'm sometimes trying to avoid sort of the sad, dark feeling that comes along with it. Vybin was a song that came along as a result of me really harping on Dorian and trying to figure out how I felt about it and come up with something cool with it. So what happened was, I knew that Dorian, I won't get too much into this because this is supposed to be for a video for, even if you don't know music theory. I knew A minor, I knew Aeolian in A, but D, if you focus on D and then play that same shape, it's Dorian. So as long as the key of the song is D, that is part of the Dorian scale. So I was only focusing on notes within this, and I came up with this, and I really liked the sound of this particular set of notes together as a chord. And I was like, well, how do I modulate this? I wasn't super familiar with the notes in a line of thinking about it like Dorian. So that turned into this, which is sort of like an A minor triad, and then this, maybe like a C power chord, and that turned into, very simply, that's how that came to be. Now, something else, because I'm so focused on, technique as a guitar player, I also knew that I didn't want it to get so technical that it was difficult listening for some people. And so I wanted to keep it simple to some degree, and I decided to convey that through having a very simple beat. So I just picked, a lot of people call it the boots and cats pattern. So I had that. Now, when I write music, I'm trying to think of it in terms of how can I play this live by myself, because I'm a one-man band. I use a looper. I figured out how to loop that. Not that it was that difficult, But then I knew I also needed a bass line, so I use this pedal to turn my guitar into a bass. Just something simple, a nice little groove. And I actually play it differently live now to keep it slightly more interesting to the ear. I go... just one extra little note change in there. I started playing around with it, and I tend to take quite a long time playing around with feelings and patterns and songs to try and find melodies I like, something that feels good physically to play, something that sounds good to my ear. And what I came up with that really I couldn't stop playing was... I really could not stop playing that. It stuck in my head. And of course, eventually you got to put your own signature onto the notes as a guitar player. So I started kind of letting my instincts take over at that point. I also knew that I wanted delay, because most of the time when I'm playing lead work, I have delay on. Turn into that. But then it's like, where do I go from there, I don't remember for sure, but I think I wrote it on my other Schecter, which is the same as this one. This is a Schecter Damien Platinum 6 FRS, if you didn't already know, if you were interested. This is what I play all the time. I have another one up on the wall here that does not have a Floyd Rose, and it does not have a Sustainiac pickup. I believe I wrote those riffs, licks, melodies, whatever you want to call them, on that guitar. And then when I got this one, it changed. So now I'm adding a little bit of whammy bar flavor to it. Adding those dyads. And that's how that came to be. From there, it was developing, what else does the guitar have to say besides the main melody? Vybin has become one of my absolute favorite songs to play live, and I look forward to playing it. It's a lot simpler to play, I think, than a lot of my other stuff. I've got a song like Malign, where I've got, weird techniques like that, and then it's not as simple to play. So Vybin was an exercise in me also wanting to not show off so much. I wanted to write something that was more melodically focused, something with a melody that maybe would get stuck in somebody's head. So yeah, that's how Vybin came to be. Again, it's one of my favorite things to play live. Here, maybe I'll do a little playthrough of it for you. obviously there are parts in that song that are a little bit more technical than what I maybe let on. I did want to have parts in there where there was a little bit of something, but again, it was sort of a practice of restraint. Like, how can I make it just a little bit technical without just, wanting to completely go ballistic like my instincts tell me to? And actually, that was a lot of the album, was me sort of trying to move away from what my normal instincts were in favor of exploring things I wasn't used to playing, which is maybe not the best choice for your first album, but that's what I chose to do. And actually, some of the stuff I've been recording lately is more in line with me just letting myself do what I want to do. So I'm noticing that my playing is more confident in newer stuff that I've been recording, as opposed to some of the stuff that wound up on Dichotomy. But yeah, Vybin was a song that I wrote out of exploring something that I wasn't used to, really trying to get to know something that I was having difficulty relating to, which was the Dorian mode. It was very liberating, to say the least. I really enjoyed writing that song, and it's one that is in almost every practice session I do. And it winds up in every set list that I do, which I don't make set lists. I'm starting to. I've noticed that the only couple times that I've done a set list, I got an extra good reaction from the audience and other musicians. So, and it also helped alleviate me standing there going, oh, what should I play next? Which is, an experience in itself for an audience, but maybe not the best one. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Do you like Vybin? Let me know. Let me know what you think of the song. I hope you dig it. Maybe I should do a tutorial sometime. I don't know. You can just, if you learn by watching, watch the playthrough again, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I'm Beatbox Jake. Thank you for watching this. I don't know. I'd like to upload to YouTube more and talk about what I do and how I do it and why I do it. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. What'd you think of this? You want to see more? Tell me. I don't know. Cheers. Thanks for watching.